Good evening, morning, or whatever time of day you fancy it to be. It really matters not, because regardless of your reality, you are now slipping into Lovecraft time. Join me now, settle back, open your mind's eye as we listen. What is that? Just beyond our physical senses, at the edge of sanity. Listen, listen.
Hello, my name is Eric, spelled with an A. In Second Life, I am also Eric, spelled with an A. My real name ends with a C. My Second Life name is Eric with a K. Metzger, Eric Metzger. I'm known as the Harbor Master of Innsmouth in Second Life. So we are having a little bit of an experiment here. Yesterday I did a test recording of a story reading in Second Life as Eric Metzger. I do live readings of Lovecraft. I have a collection of illustrated books, however, and illustrated books are hard to do with just a microphone. So I thought we'd try this. And I did a test recording yesterday and I'm refining it now because the audience I had loved it, and so we may start something new here. I smoke a pipe. Eric Metzger smokes a pipe. He's always smoking his pipe. I just have this once in a while because I smoke. I smoke Captain Black. Captain Black was what my father smoked, and it allows me to meditate and think on my dad. Eric Metzger, by the way, I have pictures. For those of you who have not been to Second Life, you can see what people see when they see me do my live readings in Second Life. We'll go to this.
That is my cat at the waterfront. That is Eric Metzger with Fuzzbutt, his cat, in our U-29 Unterseeboot Corps uniforms. That is when we go formal, putting on our top hats, and me going into Deep One. And that is what folks see most of the time, Eric and Fuzzbutt at the Innsmouth waterfront. Fuzzbutt is a very famous kitty cat. We call him the official kitty cat of Ulthar in Second Life.
So today we are going to read a story. It is an H.P. Lovecraft story called Dagon. Many Lovecraft fans know of Dagon. This is a different variant of the story. Dagon, as interpreted by R.J. Ivankovic for beginning readers. A moment, a sip of coffee. I like to put a little thing in creamer in my black coffee sometimes. And Dairygold, this is not a product plug. Dairygold makes a vanilla milkshake and a chocolate milkshake version, which is like a flavored milk, but it's very rich and very thick. It's cheaper than creamer, and I think tastes better. So, our story. H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon for beginning readers by R.J. Ivankovic. For John and Helen, and as always, Howard and Theodore. I knew who Howard was, but when I did the test play of this video, the first version, I wasn't sure who Theodore was. However, one of my audience in Second Life, we were playing it at the Innsmouth Opera House on a big screen I put up, said that Theodore was Dr. Seuss's real first name. I guess that pretty well explains it, because Mr. Ivankovic is a very big fan of Dr. Seuss's style. I'm recording these words under some mental strain. I've run out of the drug that was calming my brain. I wonder what that was. By the end of tonight, I will surely be dead. Maybe then I'll escape all the things in my head. Though I've tried to forget it, I want you to know why I'd leap from this room to the street down below. Seems like a drastic measure. All my troubles began one particular trip when I supervised goods on a small merchant ship. Look at that, in his uniform, 1914. As we crossed the Pacific, unbroken and blue, we were sailing that ocean where sailed but a few. In a stroke of misfortune we couldn't ignore, we crossed paths with a ship from the Kaiser's Great War. The history of Erich Metzger was that he served in the Great War in the Kaiser's Kriegsmarine, the Unterseeboot Corps. You can see the era German flag on that ship. When the Sea Raider slowed and then pulled alongside, we had no choice, no other choice, but to swallow our pride. And look at that, the captain wears a monocle. We surrendered ourselves and our ship as a prize. I began to steal water and other supplies. How you steal something on a ship without being caught is quite a feat, especially when you're the prisoner. After just a few days, having kept out of sight, I escaped in a boat in the midst of the night. I assumed I would surely be picked up once more, or be carried on currents to some distant shore. If you haven't noticed, he smokes a pipe too. I wonder what he smokes. But with no navigator to show me the way, the equator was northward, was all I could say. After many long days with no rescue in sight, I began to lose hope and had nightmares at night, as opposed to nightmares in the day. I'll let you read that. Ocean waves. Ooh. Are we getting seasick? Then one morning I woke in a scene out of hell. There were slime and dead fish with a sinister smell. If you know the smell of long dead fish, it's nasty. If you know the smell of the bottom of the sea or the bottom of a bay when the water recedes, that is just plain nasty wicked. I'm not certain what happened. It seems so absurd. I believe a volcanic eruption occurred. Has a tattoo on his hand. I suppose he's a sailor. When the hellish black mire rose up from the deep, I'd been thrown from the boat without breaking my sleep. So he found himself awake in the muck in his boat in the distance. Having crawled to the boat like a stranded earthworm, I sat 3 days and nights while the slime was baked firm. Lovecraft described it as being hot days. I can see how the slime would bake. Without sign of the sea or direction to go, I felt hopelessly small in that landscape of woe. At least he has his pipe. But then, off in the distance, I spied a small hump that I guessed was a hummock or some kind of hump. Don't read into that. The monotonous island showed only that hill, so I went to explore. I regret it now, still. The fishes have X'd eyes. After 3 days of walking, I paused for a rest just before I attempted my climb to the crest. I'm guessing that's the hill. Once the chill of the night had replaced the day's heat, I discovered a canyon laid out at my feet. I climbed into the rift by the gibbous moonlight, and I found at the bottom a breathtaking sight. Gibbous. Lovecraft loved that word. In the depths of that canyon, thrown from the sea floor, there were carvings of things man has not seen before. A monolith, an obelisk. Though the monolith shocked me, my senses returned when the water's dark surface had rippled and churned. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The page is stuck. I was frozen with fear as the water disgorged a creature the depths of the ocean had forged. That's fishy. When the thing bowed its head and embraced the cold stone, all the seeds of the madness that haunts me were sown. When it uttered a sound from the back of its throat, I succumbed to a panic and fled to the boat. Though I tried singing songs to forget what I'd learned, I'm not sure I was sane by the time I returned. I got into the boat and I lay on the floor. I heard many strange sounds. I recall nothing more. There's the water. The tide coming in, or the seas of unconscious sickness and forgetfulness. Then the next thing I knew, I woke up in a bed. I'd been picked up adrift out at sea, the nurse said. San Francisco General Hospital. And somebody brought him flowers. I consulted an expert to share what I'd seen. He had no expertise about where I had been. Do we see a Necronomicon on the shelf? Probably not. He lacks expertise. So, a last word of warning for what it is worth. When the monsters arise, they will conquer the earth. Now I've run out of time, and I can tell you no more. As the creatures outside and just thumped on my door. It has followed me here under sea and on land in an effort to catch me. My goodness, that hand! I will not let it find me, of that I have no doubt, though the window presents me. Dot, dot, dot. My only way out. Let's get that picture there. The last page. A picture paints 1,000 words. And that, folks, H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon for beginning readers by R.J. Ivankovic. Soon we're going to take on a slightly thicker book by Mr. Ivankovic, and that would be The Call of Cthulhu. This is his best known publication, I think. Very cool, very neat. I think you would enjoy that when we get to it. A bit more coffee. Coffee is never complete without a little horror inside. The books are gifts from my family. This cup as well. Thank you to my daughter. I believe this was a Father's Day gift or a birthday gift. I don't know. I get confused. Comes with age. Cthulhu in a cup. So, when night comes, I wish you a good night. And wake screaming.
Lovecraft Time is a production of Radio Free Innsmouth and Awaken Productions. Lovecraft Time theme music was composed by Reber Clark. All rights for musical score usage have been provided by the composer to Awaken Productions in conjunction with Radio Free Innsmouth and other Second Life projects associated with Awaken Productions. Please check out ReberClark.com for complete information on Reber Clark and his fine musical endeavors. Radio Free Innsmouth is an Awaken Productions project with all rights reserved to respective individuals and entities as appropriate.